Hey guys, told you I'd come out with a quick video on the laptop bag that I carry. This is a Gamut, G-A-M-U-T, made by a company called Vertx, V-E-R-T-X. No E in between the T and the X. They spelled their own name wrong. This bag right here made out of an incredibly tough nylon. This thing's been living in the back of my Jeep for about the last 6 or 7 months, and other than a little bit of dirt, the thing looks brand new. It doesn't have a scratch on it. It rolls around in the back there all the time. It is constantly getting pounded on by my tool bags and my bit kits and things like that I have roaming around in there. And you can't even tell. The thing still looks almost brand new. It is a 28-liter bag. It's a pretty good sized bag for a laptop. Nice little mid-sized backpack. There is, by the way, a slightly larger version of this, a 35-liter version of this, called a Gamut Plus for about another 20 bucks. The one thing you will notice about this as far as the price, if you go on the website, it's going to show you that it's about $199 for this bag, about $219 for the other one. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. If you don't already have it, there's an app out there called Honey. You can load it onto your PC, you can load it onto your phone, and when you go shopping with it, it will kind of filter through. If you guys don't know what it is, it'll filter through all the different discount codes and coupons and stuff like that a specific company has available. Vertx at the moment has a bit of a loophole in their pricing. I don't know if they realize this. They might realize it after I get done here, but a lot of their coupons can be stacked on top of each other, and Honey will try every possible combination there is until they get you the best deal. So even though it MSRP's at about 200 bucks, you can pick it up for about 140. I think the last time I went to the website and checked it using Honey, the discount codes added up to where I got about 60 bucks off, and you're able to pick it up for about 140 bucks. It's a little bit pricey, but at the same time, like I said, this thing's been rolling around in the back of my Jeep for about 6 months, and you can't even tell. Everything about it is fully protected. So I got the Gamut. Sometimes I wish I would have got the Gamut Plus, but this guy right here, fully kitted out, comes in at just a biscuit under 25 pounds, and you know, it carries everything I need it to carry. I don't necessarily need an entire toolkit to go along with this. I do have another backpack. I have a Klein backpack that carries all of my tools. This particular pack, I carry just enough stuff to get me through about 90% of the things that I'm going to come across during my day. I can do category terminations with this. I can do testing. Ordinarily, there's a network tester in the pocket over here that's being loaned out to another employee right now. Yeah, I mean, I can do pretty much anything with this guy. Full programming, including all the cables and everything. And I'm going to get into that here in a little bit and show you what's in the bag, why it's kitted out the way it is, and what I have found to be pretty much the best way to load this bag out. And the best way to do it is modularly, if I can say that correctly. I'm going to start with the top right up here. This is a front pouch. There's quite a bit of room in it. It's actually roomier than it looks. It's pleated. It expands out. I mean, it balloons way the heck out. I don't know if you can see that. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. I choose not to because I like a slimmer profile bag just because of the way things are in my Jeep and the way I like to carry things around. I don't put a lot in here, but I do keep some Ziploc bags in here. These are primarily for garbage. We do a lot of category terminations, RJ45 terminations, coax terminations, things like that. You always end up with these little bits of wire all over the place. They make a big mess. Sometimes I don't always have a box with me, so I carry these. The pouch itself opens up all the way completely. It does have a MOLLE backing on here, so if you want to put some bags, some pouches back here, it's real easy just to lock them in place so they're not rattling around all over the place. Keeps them where you want them to be. Big Velcro section up here in case you have a Velcro bag, which I happen to have a little Velcro pouch inside here, but I don't like to keep everything out here. For the most part, I just have my patches, and since I'm never in this thing, nobody ever sees it. Also, these guys right here, just so you know, kind of allow you to run this bag kind of as a stuff it thing. You can clip these guys to the front and then lift this guy out, and you can shove oversized apparel in here, like you know, hoodies, things like that. Not a huge priority here in Hawaii to walk around with a hoodie, so like I said, this thing pretty much stays closed. There is a Velcro tab up here that goes to a Velcro receptor up here, so when you do close this up, it locks itself into place. Additional to that, there's also these little snaps right here. If you're really concerned about this part of your bag coming open or somebody reaching behind you and trying to pull it open, this snap goes up here. There's an internal snap, and that locks this zipper in place. One other cool little feature, you can take this flap, you can roll it up, you can stuff it up in here. Kind of feels like I'm working a turkey right now. Anyway, I've also found that this pouch is kind of handy for storing paperwork and things that would be kind of a sensitive nature. Things you wouldn't necessarily, if you had your laptop bag open, wouldn't want necessarily your client to see. Certain paperwork, brochures, pricing, things like that. I tend to keep that up here just so I have a spot for it. I don't often use it. It rarely ever comes up, but it is kind of nice to know that there is this little pouch back here. Anybody who's rummaging through your bag, if you've ever been on a job site and had somebody rummage through your bag, I don't think that's ever really happened to me, but if you're on job sites where you kind of worry about things like that sometimes, it's a great place to store things where, you know, nobody's really going to know that you have anything in there. Even if they search through the bag, they're not going to find it. By the way, YKK zippers, self-healing. You can yank the shit out of this thing and you're never going to hurt it. This bag is insanely tough. It's built for people like me that don't treat their things necessarily very well. So let's open it up. Well, let's get to the side pouches first. Side pouch first. Turn this guy up. On this particular pouch over here, I carry my RJ45 crimp tool. Also have my RJ45 stripper, and then I also have a pair of snips down in here. Carry these little guys here, ear protection. Most of the time when I'm on a job site, I know if it's going to be loud. They typically schedule concrete cutting and chipping and things like that, so if I'm going to be on a job site, I'll bring my my gun muffs with me. But I have been occasionally surprised by guys that are working jackhammers and stuff, and it's always nice to keep a few of those things in the bag just in case. I think I bought a box of 200 of those things on Amazon for like 18 bucks, lifetime supply. On the other side, I got another pouch, and this pouch has my headlamp, 6-way screwdriver. There's also another pair of snips in here, and anyway, it's kind of a convenient spot to keep all of that stuff. Boom. So now we can do the fun part and open this guy up. So first thing you're going to notice here, I have these snaps right here, so that this guy only opens to this point here, only comes down to here, and when it's standing up, the bag opens up this far. That way you can reach in and grab your laptop. You can reach in my case I can grab my laptop and my mouse. I also have a pouch up here for power for my laptop, but it also gives you access to this little admin pocket, which is where I carry my tools. I got a 1/8 driver. I typically carry a 3/32 in here as well. I have this guy, which is brighter than the sun. This is a Olight MT2 Warrior. If you haven't seen one of these, if you haven't messed around with Olight light flashlights before, these things are amazing. Runs on an 18650 battery. It has tons and tons of power. I believe it's about 1200 lumens. Has 4 different settings on it, anywhere from like a little firefly setting, so you can just illuminate just what you want to, and I think it goes 200, 600, and then up to 1200 after that. It lasts a really long time when it's running at 600. Again, it's an 18650 battery, so it runs a really, really long time. I got a little Kershaw shuffle. I got a little pen light here, by the way. Pen light is for rooting around in the back of racks, things where I can just kind of poke it around wherever I want to. This guy, of course, is for trying to get wide area coverage in dark areas, like if you're trying to get up in an attic and see what's going on up there. This is a great light for that. Regular ink pen, a little Sharpie in here, and that's generally what sits on the top of this guy. Unsnap this guy and open him up. Now we're into the meat and potatoes of the bag. One of the things I talked about when I started the video was the best way I found to use this bag is to use these small bags, these small pouches, and just kit the thing out. Make little kits to go inside your big kit. This is a trackball. It's how I operate my laptop. People hate trackballs, but I love them. I found this little armored case. I use this case because my last trackball got all smashed up in here. It was kind of one of the painful lessons I learned about how to really kit this bag out, is not to just leave everything in here all loose and stuff. You know, make kits for it. You got that guy. This is the pouch that holds the power supply. This is a 17-inch laptop. Anybody who's got a 17-inch laptop knows how big the power supplies are. This thing is all power supply. It's huge. It has its own gravity. I mean, it's ginormous. This is my camera bag. I keep the camera bag a number of different pieces in here. I have a little GoPro session in here. I have a number of mounts for it, power supplies, chargers, things like that. Also, I keep a Sony point and shoot camera, which is the camera that's running this video right now. In this pouch, I've never had anything get damaged. Everything holds up very well. And again, I just, when you're on a job site, sometimes you need to document with photos. Sometimes it's better to document with video, especially when you're trying to troubleshoot and your tech support guy isn't quite picking what you're putting down. You can shoot a quick video and upload it to YouTube or something. You can do it as an unlisted video, and then they can actually see what's going on. They can look over your shoulder and see what's failing, and then the light bulb will go on for them, and there you go. These bags, by the way, you can get these things on Amazon. This is a 6x9 bag. That's a very common size for bags like this. And you can get them from just about anywhere. You can buy them for $6, $7, $8 on Amazon. Sometimes they come in 3 kits. All the way up to other companies like Maxpedition makes a ton of little pouches like this with all kinds of administrative organization built into them. If you haven't looked into those, you should. I've actually been kind of thinking about picking a couple of them up just because it sort of would give me the ability to carry a full tool pouch in here. If I were able to shrink this bag down and add another one in here, then I'd be able to carry even more tools, which would make me even more effective. This little guy right here, this is a little 5x5 pouch. This is made by Vertx, the same guy who makes this bag. They also make little admin pouches like this. This is all Velcro on the back. This is all Velcro down here. So there's nothing to mess around with. When you stick it in there, it's stuck. This particular bag, this particular little pouch right here, carries all of my serial connection gear. I have my USB dongle and all my gender benders and my null adapter, a couple different cables. By the time I get this thing fully run out, I have about a 15-foot long serial cable, which I've never needed longer. This is plenty. The other thing I've got in here is this little, you'll see them on Amazon, they're called borescopes, but it's basically a 15-foot long camera that attaches to your phone, and it's got, you can't really tell probably, but there's a little bit of an LED light in here. We'll do this, we'll shove them down, we'll shove this thing down conduit and see why we can't get our sticks through it or why our snake isn't going through it. We can usually kind of fish this guy down there and see what the kind of blockage we're looking at, if it's concrete or if it's just dirt, if it's something we can push through, or if it's something that we really got to work our way through. This has come in handy plenty of times. You know, put it on the end of a stick and drop it down a wall so you can see what you're going up against. If you're not sure what's in the wall you're looking into, maybe there's plumbing or electrical or something in there, you don't know where everything is. We've used it to investigate that as well. I'm probably going to wind up trading this guy out for, well, I probably won't trade him out, I'll keep him because he's still going to have his uses. But as far as investigating what goes into walls now, I've been looking really heavily into that wall bot, and I think that's probably going to be the next move. But for right now, this has been what I do. I've got a little mesh pouch up here. I don't carry much in it because it does lay directly up against the laptop, but in here I do have a couple of thumb drives. I have a charger cable for phone, and I also have a 32 gig SD card in here, just as sort of a backup in case I need to do any kind of storage transfer out of the laptop. Laptop itself is not a Mac. It is a 17-inch Dell. It's a little bit roughed up. This thing's been to hell and back. It lives on job sites. It goes places no laptop should ever go. And for the last 3 or 4 years, I think I've had this thing. It's been through 3 different laptop bags. This is by far its favorite bag. It talks to me. And anyway, Really, really cool setup. You got this little flag up here, which is just a little storage thing if you want to throw your keys or something in here. I don't use it ever for anything. So as far as the bag itself goes, if you read the specs online, it'll tell you that this is set for a 15-inch laptop. This is a 17-inch laptop. It fits in here just fine. When I initially got the bag, first couple times I pushed it in, it was a little tight, but things did eventually loosen up, and now it goes in and out no problem. Yeah, that's what she said. Pack this guy up real quick. Show you just how fast this thing really does pack up. Even when it's completely torn apart, it all just loads right back up, just like that. Full top folds over. Oh, you know what I didn't get to? Over here. The roof of this bag has 2 mesh pouches. At the top, I have my my category cables up to basically I carry a 15-footer in the bag. I have a 100-footer that I carry in the Jeep, but this is generally long enough for me to get into any switch I need to get into. Down here, USB cables. I'm not going to take them out. USB cables. I got a test rig for networking, just to tone out wires and stuff like that. I basically just carry miscellaneous cables and wires and stuff in here. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this guy back up, and I'm going to get into a different part of the bag. Yeah. Always works better when you stand it up. Give it a shake. All right, I'm going to tilt this up just a little bit so you can see this. Don't judge me. Don't look at my office. There's a little pouch on top up here. I told you I had that Olight flashlight in there. The thing operates off of an 18650 battery, which is one of these guys. You've probably seen them. They look like basically a AA on steroids. There's a tremendous amount of energy in there, and I keep it in a little bottle. As a side note, if you aren't saving these, you're making a mistake. I use these all the time. I store my battery in it because it keeps it away from all the other gear. It keeps it from getting from the terminals from getting damaged. In addition to that, I use them to store drill bits, things like that. I tend to organize everything as, you know, Phillips, flat, star, hex, square. You know, I got one for everything. I have one of these guys for my nut driver kit. What I found is that when you go and you buy these amazing bit kits, if you don't buy something in a really tough box, like a DeWalt box or something like that, typically you find the really cool bits, the ones you really want, come in those cheap little plastic containers that break 5 minutes after you get them, and all the stuff ends up in the bottom of your bag, and you waste all that time digging around looking for those things. These things don't do that, and they don't break, and they're absolutely fantastic for stuff like that. So, kind of a side note on that. I also carry a 10,000 milliamp Anchor phone charger, a little power bank here. It's for my phone, works on my cameras if I need it to. It's just sort of there as a extra power charger for the 18650 battery. And that is pretty much what I carry in that top pouch. If you watch any videos about the Vertx Gamut or the Gamut Plus, one of the things they're going to talk about a lot is the fact that it is a great bag for concealed carry. They make a long line of what they call tactigami accessories, which is essentially a lot of stuff made out of Velcro that adheres to the back of the inside of this pouch back here. And this pouch that I'm going to show you is something that a lot of backpacks have, but not everybody uses them quite like this. I do use my back pouch, but I don't put a gun in it because I live in Hawaii and I'm not really feeling like going to jail for the rest of my life. So I just suck it up and deal with it. By the way, these back straps do come off. Real simple clip off, just boom, done. And they also have a lot of, I didn't point this out before, but they have a lot of this stuff going on too. So this pouch in the back, boom. Primarily I carry a notebook, and I also would normally carry a Package WR1, a really small router in here. It's not here right now because it's at a client's house. I did do a loaner. But this is something that I use quite a bit. I keep my notebook and these guys back here mostly because you never know that these things are in here. If you put this thing on your back with these items in here, you'll never feel them. The other thing that's cool about it too, and one of the things a lot of people are worried about, is if you put something back here, because technically this is leaning right up against the back of your laptop doesn't know these things are here either. Back here, there is a backer board. It's about 1/4 inch thick. It's very stiff, and it creates a lot of protection for your laptop in case something back here gets a little pointy or decides it wants to dig in. You're not going to wreck a screen in your laptop or anything like that. And just as a side note, this is where the body armor goes if that's where you really want it. I don't have body armor in here because I don't live in Chicago, so I don't worry about stuff like that here. Anyway, that's that pouch, and that's basically the whole bag. If you guys have any questions about how I have this thing kitted out or why I do things the way I do, ask me. This is always a work in progress. I've kind of sort of settled on the overall use of the bag and how I'm going to use it. A couple things that are still left to be sorted out are the types of pouches that I'm going to be using long term going forward. The pouches that I have right now are not very organizational. They don't have a lot of, in fact, they don't really have any pockets in them at all. And I would like to be able to kind of shrink down some of these bags into something a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable, so that I can fit extra bags in there that have more organization and can hold more tools. I would like to have a little bit better screwdriver kit, a little bit better bit kit, things like that. But overall, in general, this bag, as a laptop bag, does everything I need it to do. Like I said, on a typical job site where I'm programming, or I'm testing network cables, or doing whatever, this is going to get me through the day. If I'm not doing a full rough-in, if I'm not doing a complete trim out, if I'm not building a rack, if I'm just doing basically programming, troubleshooting, warranty work, things like that, which is about 90% of what I do, I'm not going to need to bring in my big tool bag for anything. Won't need to bring in any test gear for anything. This is just basically everything I need. So anyway, like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And thanks for watching the video. Bye.